Greetings, Jeremy from the Quartering. I'm Kat, the Hijabi Gamer, and recently I saw that you made a video where you were evaluating the gaming setup for I think it was one female streamer, and I thought, you know what, I might as well toss my hat in the ring, alright, and get an idea what you think of my setup. So what you see right now is typically how I live stream. Now, generally, I tend to only live stream on weekends because I work a very physically demanding job, and by the time I get home from work, the last thing I want to do is turn on a camera. But every weekend, I live stream for several hours. I usually play first-person shooters, but yeah. Anyway, what you see is typical for me. You can go back and you can see for yourself my channel. This is how I always do things. Honestly, if I could get away with not having a camera, I would definitely do it. When I was first streaming, they said, yeah, get a camera, it adds personality, we highly recommend it. And sometimes in the middle of the stream, I'll bring up something and I want to show it. So I'll be like, yeah, you can see this. But the problem with the camera is, first of all, it takes away from the game. I mean, look how much of the screen you are missing because of the camera. I mean, what if there are enemies in the corner or something? It sucks. So, I mean, I want the primary focus to be on the game, not on me, the game, because the game is awesome. This is Original Destiny, one of my favorite video games of all time. In addition, obviously, I wear hijab. If I want to live stream with a camera, I have to wear it. And sometimes it gets pretty hot, and it's annoying, and sometimes I just want to take it off. But yeah, mainly though, it's just because, I mean, you're taking away from the game. Now, I might be getting a green screen set up. I'm not sure exactly how because it's pretty tight. I want to be able to set up a green screen so I could put cool backgrounds like a Warframe ship from the Corpus or space or something Destiny related, something like that, or Cabal or something behind me. That would be really awesome. But I'm not sure how it'll fit. But typically, this is what my setup has been for a while. Now, I know you mentioned that that oftentimes you'll see a bed in the background. You won't be able to see a bed in my background because I'm under the bed. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. See, I have a loft bed, and so you can't see it, but right above me is my bed. Okay? I have Destiny bedding, which is like a map from Destiny 2. It's like dark blue and black and gray but it's really cool. But you can't see it because the bed is above. You really can't see it. The bottom of the bed is right here. It's just out of camera reach. There's a ladder right over here. So, yeah, my bed doesn't show up, alright? And this is the one I actually sleep on. My cat sleeps on it. Yeah. I believe he also mentioned, yeah, so that's the bed. You did mention RGB lighting too. Well, I have RGB lighting, but I have RGB lighting because RGB lighting is just cool. That's about it. I mean, it's also nice because it's a strip, so I can just tape it to the bottom of the bed. But yeah, it also does like strobe. And I mean, I got these from Best Buy. They were like Best Buy Essentials or something. It was like on sale for 16 feet for like $12.99 or something. It was really, really cheap at the time. So I was like, yeah, why not? Very cool. This is typically how I dress. Obviously, I wear hijab, so I gotta stick with that. But in general, apparently, I don't dress very girly. I just came back from paintball with a bunch of colleagues of mine, which was really, really awesome. And there's still paintball here. But yeah, I'd rather play video games. So I'm not going to just go around getting changed when, there are aliens that need being shot at, okay? I do always now wear a gaming hat. A friend of mine had sent to me all these awesome gaming hats. So she sent me like Nintendo and Xbox, Scooby-Doo, Sonic, Yoshi. Today I'm wearing the Pikachu one. I do have a Destiny hat I was wearing yesterday because I started replaying Original Destiny because Original Destiny. Oh, yeah, you also mentioned plushies. Yeah, well, I don't have a bed behind me. I do use Squishmallows as pillows, by the way. But it's not because I like Squishmallows. I kind of think they're kind of dumb. But they make excellent pillows. Yes. Like, I saw them in the store, and I bought one because it was soft and plush and fluffy. And so I use it as a pillow. But that's about it. It's not because it's a plushie. It's just, it really is a good pillow. Every one of the pillows I've gotten, they always get flat after a while, but Squishmallows make excellent pillows. That's the main reason. I do have a Tom Nook plushie, but that's because I'm a big, firm supporter of the Corpus from Warframe, aka like the merchant cult who worship profit and hard work. And who better to be an honorary member of the Corpus than Tom Nook? I also have a plush Yoshi. This is actually an amiibo, and it's on my desk because the cat really likes this one, and I don't want her to destroy it. But yeah, it's an amiibo, so yeah, that's the main reason. It's an amiibo, and it's Yoshi. So this is typically how I dress. I'm more of a dark black because apparently I'm what's known as color deaf, and my attempts at matching colors make people want to gouge their eyes out. My color schemes in Warframe, when I do fashion frame, apparently is a crime against humanity. And apparently my Moa Viso makes people weep. Or so I've been told. I personally think my red, white, and blue Rhino looks awesome in America. And my red, white, and blue Viso Moa is also awesome. But not everyone agrees with me on that. So yeah, I do have a laptop over here. You know, as I said, I've got 3 monitors set up. You know, I know you mentioned backgrounds. Like I said, this is my background. There's a whole bunch of gaming stuff, you know, around here. You know, I can point out some of the stuff I've got. You know, let's see. First off, I have a PS3 over here because, you know, PS5 isn't backwards compatible. And I still have a whole bunch of discs. PS5 over here. PS4 over here. You can't see it out of sight. Xbox 360 and an Xbox One Series X, aka the Xbox Phoenix. That's according to Az from Heel vs. Babyface, and I actually mentioned it to someone from Microsoft, and they said that Xbox Phoenix sounds awesome. And I've penned for the Xbox Series S, Xbox Scorpion, and I think those are much better names. Xbox Series X is so confusing. I was talking to someone who was interested in buying it, and she was like, she got completely confused after a while because Xbox Series X, Xbox One X, it is completely confusing. I got a bunch of other stuff hanging around here. You see, I love Ghost from Destiny. He's my favorite character in Destiny, followed by, of course, Cayde 6. I mean, I'm a hunter main, so definitely if Cayde 6 wasn't in the list of my favorite characters, it would be a crime against my hunter status in Destiny. But this is my favorite Ghost one, but I have a whole bunch of them all over the room. I also have a bunch of squishy engrams from Destiny over there. Let's see, I've also got you know, I got over here. And then I have like a Romulan warbird because this is the coolest ship in Star Trek. I mean, come on. Just really, really awesome. You know, I do have a Claptrap Funko Pop over here. Yeah, I don't really collect Funko Pops, really. I don't have a lot, but I have a couple of them over there on a shelf. The majority of the Funko Pops I have are Destiny, of course, obviously. I even have a couple rare ones, including like the golden Cayde 6. So I have a bunch of Funko Pops. Then I have the Ghost from the Witch Queen Collector's Edition. And I have, like I said, a whole bunch of engrams that are like squishies, but they're engrams. So definitely needed them, of course. On the shelf underneath it, I have a bunch of like random stuff. You know, Mega Bloks, that cheap Lego alternative, sold the Destiny ship. You build it, Destiny ship. So I have that. And then there's also a Warthog from Halo with Master Chief because, I mean, come on. Halo. Of course. I have a Space Marine and a Adeptus Sororitas because Space Marines. Of course. Then there's a bunch of Destiny figures. You know, I could see Osiris, you know, a Red Jack sweeping, the sweeping Red Jack from, yeah. I could see, yeah, but, you know, Lord Saladin, Osiris. There's a Vex. Vex are cool. So a bunch of random stuff are there. There's another Ghost. Of course, Cayde 6, because definitely Cayde 6. So that's all over there. You can't even see it. It's over there. Wait, that's over there because it just anyway. Behind me, which you can't really see well, I know you were talking about how you should set up retro stuff. Honestly, I'll admit it. I don't have a lot of retro stuff simply because when I was a kid, we couldn't afford it. So every time a new console came out, we would trade in our console. And I'm not going to put the money into retro stuff and playing it on authentic hardware when I can get the game on the Nintendo Switch. I have the Nintendo, the monthly subscription with Nintendo, and I have all these retro games. So yeah, I'm not going to spend a couple $100 picking up various consoles that I don't even have the space for when I could just play them on Switch or Xbox or PlayStation at this point. It'd be nice, but you know what? Again, space is an issue. On top of that, in addition to buying the retro console, then you have to start buying the game. So yeah, I know it's like some kind of heresy. Oh my god, she doesn't collect original games. I can't afford it, and I just don't have the space. There's so many new games coming out that I just don't have the space. But behind me, on the top shelf, I have a whole bunch of video game stuff. So I've got like the Destiny Grimoire books, of course, and I have like 2 copies because one of them I don't open. I got like volume 1 through 4, and then like 5 is over there, and I have number 6 on pre-order. Then you got like a bunch of Destiny books, including The Art of Destiny Volume 1. It's a very cool book. The Art of Destiny Volume 2. I have the collector's edition of the game guide for Destiny 2 with the Hunter insert. So, yes, as a Hunter, it makes me very happy to know I got the Hunter version, which is totally by chance. I just happened to get really, really lucky. I got some Harry Potter stuff, the History of Magic, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I have a Warhammer 40k book because I just wanted to flip through it. I don't think I'll ever be able to paint miniatures. I'm not that talented, but it's Warhammer 40k. That's all I need to say, okay? Dinotopia, the books. Dinotopia was awesome. There was a show that was actually a while back. I need to get my hands on that again. That was really good. Underneath it, I have a whole bunch of movies. Behind that are my copies of like Harry Potter and a bunch of other books. But I have a whole bunch of movies there. So, the A-Team, of course. The complete collection of the A-Team. Because if I didn't have that in a physical copy, what kind of person would I be? If you haven't watched the A-Team, you definitely have to watch the A-Team. But the A-Team, some good stuff. John Wick, of course. So that sort of stuff. Underneath that, there's a whole bunch of game guides, including a action figure of Master Chief. I got Halo game guides. I got the Destiny 2 coloring book. I have several of those because Destiny 2. I have the Art of Anthem because I was really looking forward to Anthem. The World of the Division because that was just creepy when everything was... You see the Koof stuff, everything going on about the Koof, then you look at the Division, you're like, whoa, just... Anyway, I can see a bunch of game guides, Fallout 4 Vault Dwellers Guide, Fallout 3 game guide, Halo, Animal Crossing, I have the Animal Crossing ones. I have the original OG Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy VII guides. Original ones, okay? A bunch of game guides, Master Chief. Then underneath that, there's 2 shelves with, one of them has my mini consoles, and then there's a TV, a 720p 19-inch TV. Because, sometimes you come home from work and you don't want to turn on the whole setup and the Xbox and everything. So, yeah, mini consoles, they really don't need anything that high res. As I said, I do have, so the mini console I have hooked up to that TV is like the TurboGrafx 16 mini, the Sega Genesis mini, the Neo Geo mini, and the Evercade, with an HDMI switcher. I do have the Nintendo minis, but they're in a box because space. And because, like I said, you could play them on the Switch. So, before they came out on the Switch, it was great to have the mini consoles. But now that they're available on the Switch, it's like I might as well just hook up my Switch. It's so much easier. I do have them. They're in a bin over there. I have the I even have the PlayStation Mini. Sega Genesis, like I said, but that one's already set up, so yeah. Though I do have the Sega Genesis collection, so I'm like, maybe I should put the Sega Genesis Mini away and maybe hook up a Switch instead. So I have a Switch dock hooked up here, but then I have a Switch dock, because, yeah. Over there, I have a bunch of books, more Ghost vinyls. You can't really see them, but there's a bunch of Ghost vinyls, of course. Because I have like 7 of them, because Ghost is one of my favorite characters. I got like the Scrooge McDuck collection, because I know they were getting rid of that. Bunch of books, shadow binders from, Clownfish TV. I also have like Ask Iwata. I finally got their new one, Crimson Wren. It finally arrived like yesterday, which was really awesome. Now I'm just waiting for Shad's book. But protective sheets for cards, a bunch of random books, the Battlefield art book. I don't know. Anyway, and art books. I have like the Hogwarts Legacy art book. I do have on pre-order that Diablo collection, because a friend of mine was like, that's just ridiculously awesome, you need to get it. And I loved Diablo 3, so I like the lore from Diablo. I'm trying to learn more about it. That and Warhammer 40k. Warhammer 40k is just awesome. Underneath that, I have a little thing of drawers for mini stuff like pins and safety pins, and yeah. The new Animal Crossing game guide, Destiny Grimoire Volume 5, cat treats. And then underneath that, I have a bunch of totes with random stuff. Mostly, it's my handheld stuff, because I love handhelds, and so I still have a bunch of handhelds, and they're in there, and the games for them. So I have Game Boy Color. I have like 3 Game Boy Colors. We found a bunch of them. And 2 Game Boy Advance SP. I do have the Revo K101 Plus. So the Revo K101 Plus is a hardware clone of the Game Boy Advance. What's nice about it is it has a backlight. So after I got that, because I only had a handful of Game Boy Advance games, I was like, now that I've got this ridiculously awesome thing, I need a bunch of Game Boy Advance games for it. So I went on this website that was selling pre-owned games, and they were trying to dump the majority of their Game Boy Advance games. So I ended up buying like 30 Game Boy Advance games for like $40, $50. And so a lot of them just random stuff. But I was like, hey, Game Boy Advance, Revo K101 Plus with backlight, why not? So one of those shows is like a ton of Game Boy Advance games. I got some Pokemon games. I got an OG Pokedex with the original 150. Yeah, it still works. I got like a 3DS XL and a 2DS. I do have 2 PS Vitas. I have the OG original PS Vita with the OLED screen, and I have the newer PS Vita with the LCD screen. What a lot of people don't know about the PS Vita is the original PS Vita had 3G with AT&T. Now, I never got that because I didn't have a cell phone at the time, and I really wasn't interested in that. I just wanted to play games on it. But yeah, I have the PS Vita, and I have the LCD PS Vita that came out afterwards, and it came with Borderlands 2, and that's how I learned and discovered the wonderful gaming experience of Borderlands 2, was because I played it for the first time on the PS Vita while I was in Egypt, because I didn't have internet. So I was playing Borderlands 2 on my PS Vita, because I didn't have any consoles in Egypt. The following year, I played Doom on my Nintendo Switch, and well, it was love at first sight. I love Doom. But yeah, there's a lot of portable stuff. I have also a lot of random stuff, like the NVIDIA Shield Portable, which is like very, very old at this point, and you could probably do nothing on it. But which sucks, because that thing is amazing. It's like it's like a controller with a screen attached to it. It's a full controller. The NVIDIA Shield Portable. One of these days, I'm going to make a video about all my handhelds. But yeah, that's where I keep all my handhelds. I also have a bunch of cheap things from like a Pac-Man handheld, and just a random couple of handhelds that I picked up from AliExpress a couple years back that I haven't used. I just keep all my games. Yeah, in the middle, those 2 rows over there, mostly movies, video games. There's a bunch of journals. They're empty Destiny journals, because Destiny, but they're fancy. And so every time I'm like, okay, I'm going to write this in them, then I'm like, nah, but this is too fancy. So I ended up with a whole bunch of them too, because, well, mega Destiny fan. But I've never written anything in them, so I don't know yet. One of these days I'll figure out what to write in them. In addition, there's a bunch of movies as well, so Lord of the Rings is over there. Stargate, Bumblebee, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future. Then I keep my PS5 and Xbox Series X games here. So my PS3, PS4, and Xbox One games, I keep in like CD folders. Okay, so I have like 3 CD folders or something. They're on the floor, but it's neat. But they're in CD folders. My PS5 games and my Xbox Series X games, other than the ones that I'm like playing right now, so those I keep over here on the side next to the PS5, but the rest of them I have over there, so you can vaguely see them. There's like a whole bunch of PS5 games and Xbox Series X games. I also have Evercade cartridges, because the Evercade is awesome as well. So all the Evercade cartridges are also mixed in there. I do have, like I said, I have the Evercade Arcade, which is hooked up to the 720p TV. Yeah, I also have the Neo Geo Mini, which introduced me to the wonderful world of Neo Geo games, because I'd never heard of Neo Geo games. And I have the joystick for it. So you can hook up, so the Neo Geo Arcade stick, right, comes with a whole bunch of fighting games, but I'm not a big fighting game person. I'm more of a, side-scrolling shooter, Metroidvania, sort of, or, shmuff kind of player. Not really into fighting games, but you can use the Neo Geo Arcade stick with the Neo Geo Mini, and that is awesome. It's just an awesome experience getting to use a joystick and playing stuff like Metal Slug and Metal Slug 2 and all that. Yeah. As for right here around me here, my main setup, so a friend of mine was like, no, Kat, you can't do it this way. You got to pick 3 monitors from the same brand. However, I got my monitors at different times, so I have this Dell that was on sale from $600 to like $300, and a friend of mine came up to me, he's like, you have to buy this. I was like, why? He's like, it's a $600 monitor for $300. And he's like, it's a really good monitor. The only problem is it has NSYNC, and it's like, but my PC is AMD. Yeah, long story. Very, very long story. I originally had an NVIDIA card. Now I don't. Long story. But, so I got a Dell monitor, then I have 2 different Asus monitors that I picked up at different times. And I picked up this ARM thing that lets you put 2 up. So I have 3 monitors, 2 Asus, and a Dell. I've got an Elgato HD60S Plus, right over here. And all the HDMI cables are marked, so it's easy for me to pick which HDMI cable. So for example, I've got over there the Switch, the PS4, and the PS5. Then I've got like the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. Yeah, so it's easy for me to, so all of the consoles are plugged in. It's just easy for me to switch HDMI cables to the Elgato capture card. I also have, to make my life easier, so let's say I don't want to capture, okay? Let's say I don't want to capture, but I want to use the monitor. I can unplug the monitor from the capture card and then plug in this to the console. So I could go directly and bypass, because you can't use the capture card. You have to have the computer on if you're going to, even if you're not capturing anything, to see it on the screen. So I will sometimes like plug this into, so everything has an HDMI permanently attached to them. And like the monitor has one HDMI, and then I can like plug this into the HDMI for the monitor and plug it to the Xbox, right? So I can switch between them. Around me, I have right now, I have my laptop. I have a PS4, like I said, right over there, good to go, easy peasy. I got the PS5 right over there. I got a Nintendo Switch dock, OLED of course, right over there. The nice OLED dock. Then I got the PS3 over here. I moved it. It was all the way at the bottom. I could barely reach it, so I never used the PS3. PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One Series X. The other room next door is where my brother sometimes stays. It has an Xbox One and a PS4. Yeah, I tend to use Razer controllers, mostly because, I like the top buttons or the back button. So this is my Xbox controller. It's got buttons on the top. Some of these also have on the back. I have more than one because look, I'm a hoarder, okay? I like to have multiples of my favorite stuff. So for example, I love this Razer controller for Xbox, but there's 2 versions of it. So the other one, I think I have it over here. I have like 3 of this, right? Yeah, no, why? Yeah, damn, I have like, how many do I have? There's like, anyway, yeah, right over here, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on top you have 2 buttons. This is the one I'm using right now because I don't need all 6 buttons. I just need 2, one here, one here. I programmed one to be L3 to make sprinting easier, and one for jumping. I had to wait like 2 years for Razer to come out with this controller for PS5, which was forever. And then when they finally released it, it was $250. This was before the DualSense Edge came out, okay? But I was waiting because I've gotten used to the extra buttons to the point where I can't play without them. So over here, you got the 2 top buttons and you got the back buttons. PS5, made it by Razer. It's actually shipped to me from Korea. Yeah, I think, I have it also for PlayStation. It's around here somewhere. Yeah, this is my PS4 version. It's called the Razer Raiju. A lot of people don't know about this one. It's got back buttons here, one on each side and one on top. 2 on top, yeah. Right, I have it for Xbox 360 as well. There is a Razer controller. It's around here, or I might have it plugged into the, I might have it plugged into the Xbox 360 right now. No, here it is. So this is the Razer Wildcat, which is for the Xbox 360. It's got the buttons on top and in the back. Anyway, yeah, I have a whole bunch of drawers over here with controllers, mice. You know you're a mega Destiny fan when you have the Razer mouse that came out on launch. Yeah. But yeah, mice. Well, technically, it's mouses. Mouses. Extra Ethernet cables, audio cables. Yeah. Stuff like this. Where it's like, USB-C to USB-A. Stuff like that. Yeah, anyway. I got the cable for my Oculus. So this is the Oculus cable, so you can use it with a computer. Yeah, so, okay, more back, another mouse or 2. Anyway, yeah, so that's my setup. What do you think? Yeah, this video's been going on for a while. Chance to talk about my gaming stuff. Always cool. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Yeah, I do have a gaming chair, but I don't have the funky pillow. It never came with one of the funky pillows. And this was a gift, and no, it wasn't a gift from some No, it was a gift from family. So they got me the chair. It's a little cramped though, because the space is pretty small. As I said, I'm literally under the bed, which is also nice because like I can hang stuff. I have like these thingies here, which I like hang from the bed. So I can hang my headsets from it because, I have, if I want to go wireless, right? You have to have a headset for the PlayStation and you have to have a headset for the Xbox. You can't use Xbox and it doesn't work. So I have like the PlayStation, the Pulse 3D, and I have the Xbox one. So it's nice because you can then hang stuff that you can't see it, but there's a shank. Because most of this stuff I hang around me, it isn't for people watching the stream, it's for me. I mean, it's a shank from Destiny. In general, I want people focusing on the game because sorry buddy. I live stream to show off, as I said. I don't want people to be watching me soloing Challenge of the Elders, okay? Doesn't matter about me, it's soloing Challenge of the Elders, okay? Or soloing a Nightfall, or playing Remnant from the Ashes, okay? That's why I want people to watch me. Be watching my gameplay, okay? Anyway, this is my setup. How do you rate it? I'm pretty sure. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, Jeremy, if you're ever interested in playing Destiny 2, especially original Destiny, highly recommend it, okay? Look me up. It's on PC, it's on PlayStation and Xbox, all right? I'm on both. When it comes to Destiny, original Destiny, I am on both. Look me up. I'll get you to level 40, okay? I get you to level 40. I will get you to light 400. And then I'm trying to form some raid teams, Jeremy. Be awesome, okay? Warframe. Big on Warframe. Love Doom. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know. How would you rate it? Cool. Hope to see you around the tower. That's my...